What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley. Predictions breakdown here, guys. Before I get started, hit that thumbs up button. Also subscribe to this channel. Also check out my Patreon account for all my face-off prediction and prop plays. You can also donate to that PayPal account, but make sure you hit that thumbs up button so this videos can get out. You guys can leave your comments down below also. You also leave your picks. You know, you can leave your opinions or your facts or whatever you feel a facts is or your opinion. You can just drop it down below in the comment section, right? 13 fights in this card over there in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not going to be the Apex, which is a good thing. This is a bigger cage. And Buckley Usman's going to, you know, it's a pretty decent card. Like I said, you know, don't judge a book by the cover, right? So, I'm going to ride with this one. Not going to spend too long on this one though here, guys. So, first fight here. We got Vanessa Danapolis versus Jamey-Lyn Horth. And Vanessa, boy, her striking, it's there in a kind of way, but it's forced. So it's a lot of rushing forward and kind of brawling, and she pushes a high pace with the striking, but the thing is that she can get taken down. And she does have a BJJ black belt, but I don't know, she does spend a lot of time off her back and can get control, can get subbed. She would also look for the submission in you, but mostly from off her back, like an armbar or something like that. I don't know, man, with Vanessa and some of these women, other women out there, you know, that's on social media like Instagram, a lot of these women kind of get caught up in the hype a little bit. And also the guys too, but most of the women get caught up in that hype, you know, and that celebrity lifestyle kind of vibe. And, you know, and instead of putting in the work, they spend more time, you know, trying to pose in front of the camera and, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of bikini and dress a kind of skimpy way and, you know, just, I mean, it is what it is, you know, it's good to showcase yourself, I guess. You know, especially when you're fighting, you know, you gotta use what you gotta use, right? To kind of hype up yourself and build your product up, right? So it's more of like it's like a celebrity kind of vibe, and you know, a lot of these, some of them don't really put the work in, you know, really train, you know, like what they're supposed to, because they're busy, you know, in front of the camera, just posing and just trying to do other things other than actually, you know, trying to compete or fight. So, again, she does have skills, but you know, she just tends to drop the ball a lot. You know what I mean? So her opponent here, Jamey-Lyn Horth, is gonna have a 5-inch height, which is massive, and 7-inch of freaking reach. This is a big chick, man. She's well rounded. I felt like she didn't lose her fight against Maverick. That was a very close fight against Maverick. I would say that Maverick won it still, but it's very, very close. But she didn't do bad against Maverick. And she does have a ground game, BJJ black belt also. I just feel like she's more crafty, more push up pace. She's in there to fight. You know, she's not in there to model, you know, in front of the camera and stuff like that. I guess, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to learn to balance it out. And then make sure you're training and putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? Because you go in there and you don't put the work in, you know, you're modeling all this stuff is not going to help you when punches get thrown to your face. You know, you're getting taken down and all these things. So I'm liking Jamey here, man. I'm going to say Jamey by decision. But again, the women fight here, like I always say, is 50-50, man. So again, Vanessa possibly could win, you know, could get a submission, you know. But I feel Jamey going to take her down. But Jamey needs to be aware of Vanessa's ground game off the bat. You know, because she will throw up submissions. But I'm liking Jamey. I'm going to say Jamey by decision. I'm not confident, guys. Okay. Next fight, we got Phil Rowe versus Ange Loosa. Phil Rowe, man. Phil Rowe is a skilled dude, you know. He's a skilled guy. He's well around. He's got the massive 5-inch of height and 6-inch of reach. You know, he will work the boxing. You know, the jab is his good thing there and follow up with the straight on the pocket. But the jab is not that bad. Straight on the pocket, not bad either. Has BJJ black belt, I believe. He will look for the sub. He will look to knock you out. He's like a one-hitter quitter. But he gasses out in the fight. And he can get very flat-footed in the fight, man. very flat-footed. Like he sits down, but he sits down because he wants that one-hitter quitter to counter you. But he just tends not to move his legs a lot, dude. He's just very flat. And he'll drop the ball, dude. Loosa, on the other hand, Loosa is very experienced. Also, Roy is very experienced too. But Loosa is very explosive and athletic as well. And he's well-rounded, but he will also drop the ball too. He will look for the takedowns, he look to wrestle. And like I said, he's very explosive, look for takedowns, he's heavy-handed. But he can gas out too, man. And usually if he pushes a high pace, he could sometimes gas out in the first, but it also depends on what the opponent give him, how much pressure the opponent put on him. I mean, I could see Rory kind of walking him down, just hitting him with the jab. You know, I could see in some of Loosa fights, he does get hit with the jab a lot. But man, I just can't trust Rory, man. You know, it's just difficult. I just feel Loosa can take him down. And the thing about Phil is like, yeah, he's good with the hands, but he can get taken down, dude. And I don't know. I mean, every fight I see, he's pretty much doing the same thing. I mean, kind of pushing towards Loosa. I mean, I could be wrong on this one because I think the reach and the height could give Loosa a problem. But I just feel the athleticism from Loosa. He also has the skills. He can probably rinse and repeat with takedowns. Probably grown and pound up feel a little bit here. You know, probably get a decision. But it's a 50-50 here, guys. I'm not confident in this one at all. But I'm going to go Ange Loosa by decision, but I'm not confident. Next fight here, we got Ricky Simón versus Cameron Smotherman. This is a short notice for Cameron Smotherman. I believe he just came off a fight too. Supposed to be Charles Jordan. Ricky Simón, kind of picking it back up, man. You know, he's looked pretty good in his last fight there against Javid. You know, that was kind of surprising. I mean, you know, I know that, you know, Simón can hit at times, but it's more to just more take you down. You know, more wrestling, but he looked good in that fight. And skilled guy in Simón, veteran, very experienced, strong wrestling base. He beat Mantle Jordan and he beat Mantle Jordan. Is it Mantle Jordan? Or Mantle Jackson? He beat Mantle Jackson and he beat Marab. You know, he had some good wins on his record. Cameron Smotherman, on the other hand, you know, like I said, guys, I'm not in here to disrespect any martial artists. Hats off to every guy or woman that's in this sport competing, because it's not easy to go in there and get punched in the face, get your joints broken, get brain damage. It is. I'm just speaking the truth, guys. These are facts. You know, in this sport, you can get seriously hurt. You know, long-term, short-term and long-term damage. So you may feel like you're all right until later on the road. You know, age is a number, but you hit like your 40s and 50s, and you know, start to skip a lot of the words. You can't remember things. You know, trauma to the brain, right? And probably even worse than that, mess up your back, your knees. It's a lot of damage, man. It's not easy to come in here. So hats off to all these guys, but I don't feel like Smotherman. I don't feel like he belongs in the UFC as yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could be wrong, but he will come in there and let the hands go. But he's hittable. Can get knocked out, can get taken down. And against Ricky's just a veteran, dude. Ricky's like a seasoned fighter, dude. I feel it's just a different level, dude. I think Ricky Simón is just on a different level, dude. So, I mean, I know it's a short notice for Cameron. That's the reason why they're giving Ricky a fight. But this should be a fight for Ricky to win pretty easily, in my opinion. I'm going to go Ricky Simón by KO TKO, guys, in the first round. And I give Ricky 60%. I'm not too high on rating these guys because a lot of these fights, you know, like I said, the guy should win and end up losing. So I'm kind of stingy with the ratings. So I give like 60%, you know what I mean? And I give Cameron, 40, of course. But Ricky Simón should win this fight. He's just a more seasoned, more experienced guy. I feel Cameron, like he doesn't belong in the UFC as yet. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the tools, some tools here and there, but it's just things that I see that he does. It just looks slightly greenish, man. So Ricky by KO TKO first round. Next fight here, guys, we got Cody Durden, and there's 3 Codys. Well, actually, Yeah, there's 3 Codys in this card. We got Cody Durden, we got Cody Brundage, and we got Cody Garbrandt. So there's 3 Codys, guys, so don't get it mixed up. Cody Durden versus Jose Ocha. Cody Durden, well-rounded guy, wrestling base, coming out of ATT, American Top Team, experience, but he will drop the ball. He's a dog, though. He will come in and let the hands go, push the wrestling, can get submitted, can get hurt in the feet, but he's a dog, and he will slow down, but he will keep going, though. It takes a lot of damage from time to time, though, especially with the boxing. Sometimes you hit him up when he gets tired, it takes a lot of damage. Jose, on the other hand, he had a fight here with Loner, and that was his debut, I believe. Yeah, so this kid here is not bad, from what I see. You know, he's okay. You know, kind of. It seems kind of greenish to me still. You know, will slow down in the fight. You know, after the first, doesn't defend leg kicks too well. But he would let his hands go, though, and kind of crafty, look for takedowns and all these things. So coming out of Diego Lima, so you know, we know who those guys fight. Straightforward, bite down, take a lot of damage to deliver damage. It's a tough one for me to pick. I mean, Jose, yeah, he's decent for what I see, but I feel like Durden. I feel Durden seen this already. You know, but it depends on where Durden head is. You know, is he done? You know, is he faded completely? Is he took too much damage? You know, kind of like a Luke. You know, is he at that point? You know, it's a strong possibility, but you know, I feel Durden should have the experience going over ATT. He should be able to set up a game plan where he can grind with the wrestling and get the takedowns. Because Jose wants to strike more, but again, it is the punches, the strikes. You know, can Durden manage that? And that's the thing. So there's a 50-50 fight for me, but I'm going to push more towards Durden. I'm going to say Durden by decision, guys, but I'm not confident. All right. Next fight here, we have Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Mortino. Chris Mortino, man. You remember that dude, right? Came into the UFC, fought freaking Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley beat him up real bad in that fight. Beat him up bad. Also fought the man Blackshear. Actually beat the man Blackshear. Lost to Tony Gravel. This guy here was in the UFC. He lost to Sean O'Malley, Guido. You know, and then went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winning streak. But the guys he fight now, like, you know, like kind of like, you know, 8-2, 22 and 16, 6 and 7, 14 and 16. You know what I mean? You know, I mean, it's people that he's fighting, but the records are not that great. But I see from him, you know, from back in the days, he was kind of very hittable, and his boxing wasn't that great, striking not great. He's just running into shots. What I see in his recent fights, though, you know, he has improved. You know, his boxing got better. You know, his defense got a little better too. But he's still hittable though. But he has improved though. So, but he's still reckless. Will come forward, put a high pressure on you. He's a crafty guy, man. It's a guy where will eat a lot of shots. You know, kind of like Darren Elkins, and then come back and win the fight. So his opponent here, Malcolm, you know, like going back to the 9-0 guys, 8-0 guys from Contender Series. You know, Malcolm is a sharp guy. You know what I'm saying? He's very technical, one-hitter quitter, pack a lot of power, decent prospect. You know, a sniper, accurate. But keep in mind though, he's still kind of greenish though. You know what I'm saying? So we look at a guy like Chris. You're like, oh, Chris is also a can. You know, the guy is experienced. Chris is experienced, dude. And you know what happened if Malcolm can't get the knockout? You know what I mean? We have to take a look at that. You know, if he can't get the knockout, how does he look? If he can't finish you, you know what I'm saying? That's a big thing there. You know, I believe Malcolm is hometown favorite, but how does he look when he can't get knockout? He has a split decision win over some guy named Zakarla Camera. That's earlier. No, actually, that was 2023. You know what I mean? Got a decision win here. I mean, he has like 2 decision wins, but you know, it all depends on the person that you're fighting. Yeah, Chris is, you know, will run into shots, you know, but if he runs into shots and doesn't get knocked out and he's keep on going like a Terminator, like T-1000, you know, how does Malcolm look if he can't finish him with a punch? You know what I'm saying? Could even get a submission to it. It's a strong possibility, but this is a fight where I'm going to push for Malcolm, guys, but I'll be very, very, very careful with this one because we see it all the time, you know. You know, Chris is coming back, making his, you know, he has been in the UFC, so he's coming back to get a second chance. So, I mean, I wouldn't sleep on Chris. I'd be very careful with this one, especially guys, you know, that, you know, especially guys with like records like 9-0, you know, they're not really tested. You know, I feel Chris fought some tough guys, beat some, and then he lost to some. But the technique from Chris is not as sharp as Malcolm. But if you can eat the shots then, and that's how you do your defense by running into shots and coming back and beating and winning, then, you know, it is what it is. That's not a good game plan, though. I wouldn't recommend you doing that to defend with your face. But if that's the way you do it, hats off to you, man. But I'm going to go with Malcolm. I'm going to say Malcolm by KO TK in the first round. But I'm not confident, guys, in this one. It's 50-50. Like the same thing I said, you know, Chris has improved from what I see from his recent fight. He has improved, man. His boxing got better and his defense got slightly better. But he still will run forward and eat shots. But we'll see what happened, though. So Malcolm by KO TK in the first round. Next fighter, we got Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Michael Chiesa uses striking to set up more the takedowns. This guy is you know, he's a company man. Grappling, you know, want a submission. All of his wins are pretty much by submission. I believe he has 12 by submission, but he can also get submitted, especially the rear naked choke and the DOS. Those are the ones he gets submitted with a lot, especially, I believe it's a DOS choke. You get caught in that a lot. Doesn't have any knockouts, I don't believe. He has 12 by submission, but he's been submitted 5 times. Court McGee is no joke. You know, Court McGee is a veteran, experienced, and Chiesa experienced too. But Court McGee can get knocked out, but he has never been submitted. And Court McGee will also look for submission. And thing about Court McGee, I believe he had surgery on his neck. Something with his neck, nerve in his neck was traveling down his arm, so his arm would go numb, you know, giving him neck problems and all these things. So he got that fixed, and they say he feels a lot better now. So, and in his last fight against Tim Means, he looks in very good shape. This one's a tricky one here, man. I mean, with Michael Chiesa, like I said, he does a lot of the commentary now, and you know, he works with the company doing the commentary work. So, you know, I don't know how much of him is into really competing, but he's still competing. He's on a 2-win fight streak. So, but you know, it's against like Max Griffin and Tony Ferguson. You know, I mean, we should get a submission of Max. He got a submission of both of them. But I'll be careful with this one because, like I said, Court McGee had some injuries and he fixed it, and he looks good. So you just never know in this fight. But I'm going to push toward Chiesa. I'm going to say Chiesa by decision, but it's a 50-50, guys. I'm not confident in this one at all. All right. Next fight here, we have Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. This is a fight that was supposed to be on some other card. And I believe Bellato got sick or something like that. I mean, we all know with Paul Craig, man. You know, the guy wants a submission, man. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it. Striking has improved, but it's not at that level to where it's like you can say that he's a world-class striker. You know, he's just enough for him to just throw some jabs and set up from the outside, try to get takedowns. You know. But you know, he can still get touched up. His defense is still not that great, and if you put him on his back, obviously he's gonna try to submit you. Because that's where he gets most of his wins, from off of his back. So you don't want to play around in his guard. With Bellato here, Bellato is pretty well-rounded dude. Heavy-handed, has ground game. But I don't think his IQ is that great. So that's the issue. Fight IQ, not that great. So Paul Craig doesn't have the best fight IQ either. So this is a fight where, man, it's one of them things where you got to be very careful with it, man. Yeah, you could go Paul Craig, or you can go Bellato. You know, either side. I feel Paul Craig can win, Because like I said, with Bellato, IQ not that great, so Bellato may try to take down Craig and then sit in his guard and Craig submit him. Yep. So even though Bellato's ground game doesn't look bad, but most of the time, if you're in Paul Craig's guard and he's on his back, most of the time he will get you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Venus flytrap. So, but people tend to want to play in his guard, and it always plays out. He come back and submit you, and he submit a lot of guys that he probably shouldn't have submit, but then he's submitting them. Nikita, Jamal Hill, Magomed Anklov, who is actually a champion right now, right? So, like I'm saying, you can't play around this guy's guard. He's vicious with it. I'm going to go with Bellato. I'm going to say Bellato by KOTK in the first round, but I wouldn't sleep on Paul Craig. He's one of those guys where it always seems like, oh, Paul Craig is not going to win. And then Paul Craig does Paul Craig. Pulls off a win on you. Submit you. So, but I'll go Bellato. I just feel Bellato more durable, heavy hitter. His striking is not bad. You know, he's more well-rounded in my opinion. Paul Craig has that one little thing though. You play in his guard and he gets you, right? Next fight here, guys. We got Alonzo Menfield versus Oumar Sy. Alonzo Menfield, man, I didn't like how he looked in his last fight. You know, he's well-rounded guy, explosive, heavy-handed, will wrestle you down. But man, against this guy here, Julius Walker, he just didn't look good against Julius Walker, dude. You know, he just didn't look good, man. And I don't know, he just looks tired. He looks slow. You know what I'm saying? Again, Sy, you know, Sy is going to have 7-inch of reach, 4-inch of height, massive reach, decent prospect, still slightly kind of green, wrestling base. You know, it seems like he could gas out. You know, he seems slightly green at times, though. But what I see from Alonzo against Juicebox, he ain't look good at all. If he looks at that against Juicebox, man, I can see Sy pulling off a winner. I'm going to say Sy by decision, guys. But like I said, again, going back to 11-0, guys, fighting experience 16-5. You know what I mean? And we look at Alonzo. Alonzo has a lot of experience. You know what I'm saying? So he have seen it. You know, beat Dustin Jacoby. You know, beat a lot of tough guys here. But I feel like with Oumar Sy, he's athletic, he's explosive. You know, long reach and height. You know, he should beat Alonzo, dude. He has the tools to beat Alonzo, man. You know what I'm saying? So if Alonzo went to the split decision with Juicebox, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Julius Walker, but which is a Juicebox. You guys probably say, man, who the hell is Juicebox? I mean, I'm not saying that Julius Walker ain't good, but man, it's just like he just didn't look too good in that fight at all. Alonzo didn't look good in that fight, man. So I'm gonna go with Sy. Sy is on the ATT also, American Top Team, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I think he's an American Top Team. I think. So I must say a decision by Sy. Next fight, we got Cody Brundage versus Mansur Abdul-Malik. Cody Brundage, man, he looked good in his last fight there against Julian Marquez, you know, Cuban Missile. Brundage, though, will drop the ball, though, man, you know, and sometimes it seems like he will give up. You know, but he's a dog, you know, we'll keep coming forward, you know, we'll also let the hands go heavy-handed, we'll also look to wrestle. You know, he has a heavy punch in him. But a guy like Malik, I have more confidence in Malik than I do with Sy. I feel Malik is powerful with the strikes, super athletic, can be slightly kind of green still, but I have more faith in him, you know. And he's going to have the 7-inch of reach in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I feel Malik is just going to be dominant, taller reach, more explosive, heavy hitter. I believe Malik has a ground game also. I'm going to push towards Malik, guys. I like Malik by KOTK in that first round, guys. Am I confident? Yes, slightly, but you see, you know, about these cards here, just drink some water here, guys. Can you? Yeah, man, it's sitting about these fights here. You know, we're dealing, like I said, with guys that are undefeated. You gotta be careful. You know, a Mali guy 8-0, yeah, I suppose it can beat Brundage, sure. And then Brundage catches him with a punch. knock him out. It happens. Brundage happens. You can take him down. Just, you know, it happens, man. You gotta be careful with some of these fights. Even though a lot of the guys on this card that these prospects are fighting, a lot of these guys are not that great. You know, like a Brundage. You know, they're not like championship caliber or very technical or skill. You know what I'm saying? So these prospects should beat them, but you never know though. But I must say, Malik by KO TKO first round. Next fight, we got Cody Garbrandt versus Raoni Barcelos. Cody, last time he fought was in 2023, and his last win there was against Kelleher, dude. Am I right about that? Hold on. No, sorry. His last fight was against Figueiredo in 2024, and his last win was against Brian Kelleher in 2023. I don't know, man. Cody is good. He's skilled, but he's not durable. You know, and that goes for gas tank as well as chin. You know, your face not meant to get hit, but he can't take a hit though. His hands are quick. You know, quick with the boxing, can catch you or knock you out and everything like that, but he has to do it fast in that first round. If he can't do it in the first round, then it's over. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. What I see Ronnie did to Peyton Tabit will beat Garbrandt easily. Put it that way, because Peyton Tabit can take a hit and is durable. Cody can't, and Cody will look for wrestling, but he can't carry the pace. What Ronnie did to Peyton, that was like some skill game planning, bro, and he pushed the wrestling all the way through to the end of the fight, dude. And Peyton was done in some shots on Ronnie, but Ronnie, you know, is a skilled veteran and he shows his durability. Cody couldn't do that, wouldn't be able to do that against Peyton. Peyton would, because it's just the matchup. You know, against Ronnie, Cody could catch Ronnie and hurt him, because sometimes Ronnie can get hurt in the fight. But I just have, you know, more confidence in Ronnie here. I'm gonna say Ronnie is more skilled. I'm gonna say Ronnie more well-rounded, but Ronnie slightly missed a step a little bit, but it's not as bad as Cody, man. Cody can't handle a hit, dude. Ronnie also game plan, you know, depending on the opponent. You know, we mixed up with the wrestling and grind. I feel like Ronnie gonna push a lot of wrestling in this fight, like what he did against Peyton Tabit. He's gonna push a high wrestling because you know that Cody would gas. And Cody usually gasses out in the second round, dude. After the first, he gasses. If he can't get knocked out in the first, Cody would gas out, dude. And you know, I just feel Ronnie is just the more rounded, can carry a higher pace, face tough competition. Christian Cunes, like these guys that are coming in here 18-4, 9-0. Ronnie is beating them, dude. Cody couldn't do that. Wouldn't be able to do that. I don't think Cody could even beat Christian Cunes either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm liking Raoni Barcelos. I'm gonna say Raoni Barcelos by submission, guys, in that second round. Alright. Next fight here, guys. We have Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Petroski. Edmen skilled, well-rounded, but again, he will drop the ball. You know, looks a little better in his last fight there against Dallin Budka, who is not in the UFC anymore. Gerald Merchant, he was winning the fight, and he gasses out. So Edmen's a guy that can gas out, especially, you know, when he's under pressure and you break him. He just gas out on you, man. It just doesn't look good, and then he would just fade in the fight. Andre, on the other hand, is well-rounded. You know, he would look to take down, he look to strike, look to push your wrestling, BJJ black belt. He can carry a pace from what I've seen lately, but he never used to though. You gas so quickly too. But I felt like he lost against Rodolfo Vera. I felt Vera won that fight, dude. I feel Vera won the fight by a unanimous decision. I felt that he won. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't agree with the win on that one for Andre to win. This one's a tough one too, because I guess again Edmen would drop the ball. You know, if Andre can get takedowns, you know, but Andre would just like sometimes just be on the outside taking shots, eating shots, like what he was doing against Vero. That's why Vera, I felt Vera won the fight. Vera was hitting him with leg kicks, just hitting him with shots on the outside, and you know, Andre would push you against the cage and try to hold you and stuff like that, but sometimes he doesn't do much. I'm gonna go with Edmen Shahbazyan. I'm gonna say Edmen Shahbazyan by KO TKO, guys, in that second round, but I'm not confident. All right. Next fight here, we have Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. This is co-main event already. Rose here is at 125 now. Well-rounded skill. You know, this is a 3-round fight. Kind of favor her more in this fight, I would probably say. Movement good, technique good, striking good. Against the Erin fight, she was winning that fight until, you know, she started getting taken down. You know, Erin was starting to get a takedown on her, which I believe was in the 3rd round. Against Maverick here, Maverick, striking is not bad. Usually to set up her wrestling, you know, also. But I feel that Rose is the better striker. Maverick could be a little bit more physically stronger though. As far as like strength. She probably could even get the takedowns on Rose. You know, like I said, does that, you know, that her base of frame could be a little bigger here, you know, could push, you know, push out Rose against a cage, get her down, double-legged. Because we see Rose sometimes struggle against a lot of women that wrestle, especially bigger frame women. But it's not just the being big alone, you know, that I feel like Maverick also has the skills. You know what I'm saying? She has a technique as well, because it's good, you know, if you're big alone and that's it, you know, it doesn't really make, you know, it's not too good. You know, you need the skills too. You know what I'm saying? You can be big all you want, but if you don't know what to do with the skills, then you're just going to guess so. But I feel Maverick probably can win this fight, man, but I just feel Rose, you know, I don't know. But sometimes I base these fights off of these people last fights. And what I see from her against Jamey-Lyn Horth, she didn't look too good against Jamey-Lyn Horth. She was getting reversed. Jamey-Lyn Horth was taking her down. Jamey-Lyn Horth was touching up her a little bit. She just didn't look good. She didn't look dominant. And against Rose, I mean, I don't know. I feel Rose is seasoned striker, seen it. I feel Maverick path to victory is going to be her takedowns. You know what I mean? And I don't know if she can. She probably can get Rose down, but Rose been putting a little more muscle, I see. Putting a little more muscle frame on our frame there. I'm going to push towards Rose, guys. I'm going to say Rose by decision. But I'm not confident in this one. You know, this is more of like an experience kind of thing here from Rose. I just feel Maverick from her last fight just didn't look too dominant. You know, so I'm gonna go Rose by decision. Next fight here, guys, we got Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Usman, well-rounded, hasn't fought since 2023. Was a champion way back. I believe he fought at 185 though. His last fight was 2023 against Khamzat Chimaev. Yeah, something like that. So his last fight was 185, but he usually fights at 170. 5-round fights, man. Joaquin Buckley just looks dominant, dude. He stays improving. He stays improving, dude. It's not like he's like some fights he just doesn't look good. He looks good in every single fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight winning streak. From he went up to 170, I went down to 170. He looked dominant and beating good guys. Stephen Thompson, Razorgov, Vincent Lacue. You know, Kamaru Usman. You know, he's still good in a way, but I heard something about his knees. Like his knees are not that good. You know, he has bad knees or something like that. Buckley is just a 5-round fight. Buckley's just freaking explosive guy. Athletic, quick, pack power. And Buckley just been improving. What I see from him, man, he just, every single fight he gets better and better and better. And Usman hasn't been fine. Last time he fought was 2023, dude. With that kind of, I want to say, consistency from Buckley, it's like, it's hard to see Usman winning the fight, dude. I mean, like I said, man, Buckley been competing. You know, this guy fought 1, 2, 3, 4, no, 4 times in 2024, dude. 4 times, bro. How many times Usman fought? Last time Usman fought was a short notice. Was in 2023, October, and he had 2 fights in 2023. Leon Edwards and Kamazan. And Chimazayo. Sorry, my bad. And Chimazayo. Yeah, man, I'm going to go with Buckley in this one, man. I feel Buckley too explosive, durable. And the most important thing is the durability, man. I don't feel Usman is durable. I feel Usman's knees are probably gone. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I heard. So, yeah, Buckley by KOTK in the 3rd round, guys. Quick look at the odds here, guys. See what we're working with. Them crazy odds. Crazy odds. Crazy odds. Horth. Damn. 500 and something? No. Only woman that I say should be 500 or something around that is Amanda Nunes them and Chichenko. Valentina Shevchenko, dude. Like, when these girls here it's just, man, man. They have some fight here and there, but it's Horth at 500. No, man, because Vanessa could get a submission on her. Disagree the odds on this one. This is way too high, bro. Be very careful. Phil Rowe and Loza. Loza favorite. Okay, slightly kind of close to even fight. I mean, I don't disagree because like I said, Phil Rowe could win. Jab him up, you know, but the footwork from Phil is an issue. Doesn't move his legs, so he's there to get taken down, bro. It's not like he's light on the foot like Anderson Silva. You know what I'm saying? Like he moves around and pop the shots and, you know, stay moving. It's just kind of flat. So that's the reason why I pick a Loza. But to me, it's an even fight still. You know. Let's see other fights here. Where are the fights around, man? Where are the fights? Cameron Smotherman and Ricky got Ricky at 500 or something. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I feel Ricky is a veteran, skilled guy here, the more experienced guy, seasoned fighter, man. He should be able to beat Cameron, man. Ricky should not lose to Cameron. If Ricky loses to Cameron, that's not a good look. Ricky should win this fight. Cody Durden, Jose, got Cody at underdog. Got Jose at 190 something. I disagree with that. I feel Cody is a more experienced, you can say slightly veteran kind of vibe. I feel Jose is still, you know, trying to fit in here. So, yeah, man. I like Cody, but it is what it is. Michael Chiesa 300 and something. I'll be careful with that one because Chiesa could drop the ball, but he's a company man, but he could drop the ball. Court McGee been looking good after his surgery. I'll be careful with this one. The odds on Chiesa is way too high. Malcolm Wellmaker 2,000? Damn. Chris is plus 1,100? Nah, buddy. Bro, you see these kind of things here? These kind of odds here? It's crazy odd. No, Malcolm is skilled. And he has a one-hitter quitter. What I told you from the breakdowns. If Malcolm can't get off and get the one shot off that he needs, because Chris is just like a vampire. Yeah, like a vampire, like a zombie that can eat the shots and don't get knocked down or get knocked out. And Malcolm getting tired, that negative 2,100 is going to start looking like plus, man. Like some plus 10, man. And you're going to see Chris being favorite eventually. It can happen. We see this over and over again, man. We see this over and over again, especially a guy like Chris who's experienced. And you look at Malcolm, yeah, he's a skilled kid, but you can see that he's still kind of green, dude. You know what I mean? And we see fights where guys may not be as skilled like Chris, but they can just take a lot of damage and keep coming forward, keep coming forward, keep coming forward. And if Malcolm can't finish him, then Malcolm be like, crap, I hit this guy with everything I got, and he's still coming. Damn, then Malcolm power start to fade. Then he start to get tired, and Chris started putting on him. It can happen, man. I like Malcolm, but not at 2,100, dude, or 2,000, or 2,500. Hell no. This one here is dog or pass. That's it, man. Because there's nothing you can do unless you put Malcolm first round KO TKO, like a prop. But I wouldn't mess with this. I'd be very careful with this one, man. Dog or pass, bro. Paul Craig versus Bellato. They got Bellato 400 or something. Nah. Anybody fighting Paul Craig? Paul Craig has a chance to win. This Paul Craig dude is a guy that's like a dog always, man. He always pulls it off. This is even. I wouldn't mess with Bellato at all, dude. Shy and Menfield. Shy should win. Odds on him is kind of high, but he should be able to beat Menfield, dude. He should be able to. He's a quicker guy, more athletic. I mean, I feel Menfield is athletic too, but he's not as quick and fast twitch like he used to be. It's kind of slow at the movement, man. I feel Shy should win, but be careful still. Malik, same thing too. Malik can beat Cody, dude. Should be able to beat Cody, dude. The 800 odds is high. Me personally, I wouldn't mess around with it. The 800 and 700s, and especially the 2100, I wouldn't mess around with all those, bro. But I feel like Malik and Shy should win the fight. Cody and Raoni Barcelos 198. I feel Barcelos should beat Cody, dude. Unless Cody catches him in the first round. That's the only way I see Cody winning, if he can catch him in the first round and hurt him. Or knock him out in the first round. That's the only way. After the first round, if Cody can't do it and he goes second and third round, Ronnie gonna eat him up. If Ronnie doesn't submit him in the second, like what I have. So I don't disagree with the odds on this one. Andre and Edmen at 180 something, I disagree. This fight is kind of even, dude, because Andre could pull off a win on Edmen, because Edmen will drop the ball. Guys that can drop the ball, you can't put them as so high favorite. No way, dude, because they can drop the ball, and the guy that they're fighting, like Andre, is not, like a can, or is not good. He has experience and he's skilled, and he's on a winning streak also. So I'd be careful. I think Andre's at a three fight winning streak. I'd be careful with this one. But I like Edmen, but I'd be careful. Miranda Maverick versus Rose Namajunas at 200 and something. Rose can get taken down, man, and if Maverick can implement her body weight with her technique and her frame, she possibly could win this fight, guys. I'm liking Rose more for the striking and experience, but there's a frame on Maverick that if she can implement and use her strength along the technique, she could pull off a win here. You know what I'm saying? But I still like Rose, but I'll be careful. The odds is a little too high because Maverick can win. All right. Buckley and Usman. Yeah, Usman 285. I'm liking Buckley, dude. I feel Buckley is durable, quick, fast twitch muscles, athletic, strong dude. His mental seems there. His technique got better. His skills got better. I feel Usman is not durable. Took a lot of damage. Knees look like they're gone. Yeah. It hasn't fought in a while. So, long time he ain't fight. And Buckley been active. The activity is what I like from Buckley. Alright. So that's it right there, guys. You guys can leave your comments down below. Leave your picks down below too. I like when you guys leave your picks or something, you guys. Like I said, man, when it comes to this game, it's a game. And that's it. There's ups and there's downs. And sometimes I can be wrong. Sometimes the other predictors and the other guys can be right. So leave your comments, your picks down below, because they also help me out too, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no ego, man. I don't mind you guys leaving your picks and explaining why. And I agree. Like the other guy there, he said Mario would beat Mario would beat Patchy Mix, and he was right, and I actually agree with him. I said that there's a chance. I said, yeah, you're right, because Mario's experience, and then Bellator to UFC is like a different level. The UFC is a high caliber fighters, and Bellator is not that as high caliber like UFC is. A lot of these Bellator guys, even though they're champion, it's not like the champion like what's in UFC. You know what I'm saying? So you can see a guy like Mario beating Patchy Mix, but I expected more from Patchy Mix, man. I expected a lot more from him. He just looks like he was flat, no head movement, no foot movement. He looked like he was shell-shocked, like he was nervous. He looks like he ain't fighting a long time. He looks confused. Zero head movement, dude. Zero foot movement. He looked like he never fought before in his life. There's like no head movement, no head off, no head. He didn't even go for takedown, nothing. He didn't even implement what he was good at. Yeah, so like I said, share your picks, guys. It's all at the end of the day. There's no ego. And yeah, man, any positive quotes for you guys? Just keep doing the thing, man. Just keep focusing on what you're doing. No matter what happened, man, you keep pushing forward. You know, whatever, I guess, your goal or whatever you love to do, don't give up on it. You know what I'm saying? You keep moving towards that and keep putting the energy into it. And always remember that your health is your wealth. So before everything, you know, you remember that your vehicle is not your car. Your vehicle is your body, right? So body is, you know, it holds the consciousness, and the energy is all within. So, and the body is a part of that. So if you don't take care of that, you don't take care of your body, your vehicle, then you won't be able to travel. You know, you won't be able to do your things that you love to do consistently, and longevity. Because all about longevity, you know, it's not no short-term thing. And also you gotta remember that what you do now will dictate what comes next after the body leaves, or the body goes, because the body must go. So all the goals you're working on, all these things you're working on, yeah, it seems like you're going to lose everything, you can't take anything with you. Of course not. You know, that's just a material aspect of it. You know, that's the possession part. But that doesn't mean that the consciousness, the energy won't keep going on, though. And the way how you live your life now will dictate what you do next. So if you're a drug addict, smoking, doing grimy things, and taking care of yourself, then that's the consciousness that you're going to be traveling over with into the next realm or the next dimension. So you got to make sure that you prepare your body, you prepare the mind, the soul, the energy right now for you to travel. Like a caterpillar to a butterfly. Not everybody going to go the same place. You remember this. All this what we're doing right now, it's not by coincidence. You can look at yourself, look in the mirror, look at your organ, look at everything in your body that you have. You are the magic, you know. We are the magic. We are it. We are the experience. So if you look at it like this, nothing's a coincidence. There's a reason why every one of us are here. There's a reason why you can feel when you pinch yourself. When you take a deep breath, you can feel your stomach rising. You can feel like certain sensations, you know, from within and on the outside of yourself. You know, you can feel these things because you're experiencing it. You have an experience right now, and it's not a coincidence. There's more to come, even when the body goes. But it all depends on how you live your life now. How you live your life is what you're going to take over to your next life that's coming up. All right. So one love up to everybody, guys. You guys keep on kicking, and